Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, Tom and I are going to be talking about how recently, literally in the past couple of weeks, we lost a $3,000 a month social media marketing agency client literally overnight. And we're going to run you through exactly how it happened from literally start to finish. Don't know where to begin really, mate, because this has been a whirlwind.
Well, for a start, let's set the timer for 10 minutes
Yeah,
because
started.
all of our videos are 10 minutes long. Um, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. If you've experienced similar things, tell us, share your experiences and keep it positive. We've got no time for any negativity shit on this channel. Yeah, we did. It's true. Harry's nailed it. Like we lost a $3,000 a month client overnight who was in a contract with us.
Yeah,
That's the key thing that we need to stress is people might go, well, surely you tie them into a contract. And that doesn't happen. It does happen. And we can't, unless it's a bit of a disclaimer, we're not going to tell you who the client is. We're not going to tell you what country they're in. We are not going to tell you really the outcome because there's major repercussions that are happening following this. So we've got to be kind of careful.
yeah.
But how did it happen, mate? Like, let's just talk about this as if it's me and you only. No one else is
Yeah.
listening to this conversation. It's me and you on the phone having a bit of a fucking rant and a moan. For a
Yeah.
start, let's go on.
I was going to say how we actually got the client because that's a very interesting point.
Okay.
So we signed the client through a cold call. However, the way it happened was very unusual. Usually, when we cold call a business, have a meeting, a follow-up meeting, and sign a client, it's usually over a 10-day period from initial contact to first meeting, second meeting. This client, we had the cold call on a Monday, we had the meeting on the Tuesday, and by Tuesday night, she had signed the contract and paid the invoice. So literally within 24 hours, we'd been introduced to the client and signed a $3,000 a month contract, which is very, very unusual. That's rarely happens. Um, and it's happened a few times to us, but I think that's where it began. And yeah, that's an important state
Yeah,
to
it is. And that's really key, mate, because it actually highlights like this wasn't a knee-jerk reaction from her. She was very impressed with me and you. She was
yeah,
very impressed with our business, with our testimonials, with what we had.
yeah.
Uh,
And she signed a 6 month contract. And are we going to talk about this?
yeah,
Yeah, so we signed a 6 month contract. She paid the first 2 months, and the third month is where it all went wrong. And I'm just gonna be brutally honest, mate, with just how about everything that happened.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so like the first, so we she was a say the industry. She was an aesthetics clinic, and she also had a training course alongside it. And we said to her when we first launched it, we need to launch your training course first and then focus on the clinic. She had someone else running ads for the training course, which she didn't tell us about at the time that she was going to keep going with them whilst we were running the campaigns. And so when we started, we were like, right, let's get this course going because that was what was going to bring in the immediate reaction because the clinic side of things was brand new
yeah.
and it didn't have any content. It was literally when we signed the contract, the clinic wasn't even open yet. So we are like, that's going to take some time because there was no reviews, no photography, videography, anything. They hadn't even delivered a service before. So they didn't even
That was a
support us.
massive problem. That was a massive problem for us from the
It
word go.
was, but however, we didn't mind taking it on because it was a pack. We said we'd do the clinic as well as the academy, but we were going to launch the academy on day one, make a ton of money from them because of how good we are at doing it and all the case studies,
Yeah.
and we know how to do it. And that was going to be a problem. And then the clinic we were just going to do as a bonus. And then she turned around to us and said, "Right, this person is. It was a friend of hers doing the ads. They were horrific. They were running Christmas ads in February. It was ridiculous, and she was spending like 4 or 5 grand a month on these ads." And they were just hideous. So we like
They're the worst
massively.
looking. They're the worst looking ads. It's hand down the worst looking ads I've ever seen on
Yeah.
social media.
So you've got to remember that the academy and the course, academy and the clinic is the same brand. So any ads being ran is going to affect the performance of what we're doing. It's like Apple having a teenager run their advertising campaign when they're launching an iPhone. It's completely contradictive. So there was massive pushback there. So then we ended up, she didn't want to get rid of this academy, the person who was advertising the academy. So we got started on the clinic. We had zero, like barely any support from them, really, mate, in terms of content, what we needed launching. Every
No,
time
and the other thing, mate. Every time we got on a call with them,
I was about to
it
say,
was fucking chaotic, mate, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was like they were late for the call, or that we were on loudspeaker, and it's like it's kind of like we were talking to them, but they were passive listening, and there was things going on in the background. Whenever we asked if, like, do you understand this, or do you understand what we've talked about? Yeah, it's like no, really is the answer.
No was the answer, but they said they did understand it because we said, "Is there any question before we go away?" Like on the workshops we were doing, like all this good stuff we were doing, and then we'd get an email or a message after of a question that completely showed that they weren't fucking listening.
Yeah,
It was like and we were on
that was
calls
so frustrating,
two,
mate. It
two,
was.
3 times a week with these people, and it was like we were wasting hours and hours of time because they didn't understand. Not that they weren't understanding, they weren't just listening to what we were saying. They weren't. They were just like,
No.
yeah. So what's the daily budget? How many of these? It was just like it was a
Here's the thing,
never-ending
though, mate.
process.
Here's the thing. They were really pleasant. Like
They were really nice. Yeah.
the lead person, the business owner. Every time we were on the call, and I spoke to this person privately. I'd ring her outside of our meetings and just say, "Hey, like this is why we're doing these things." And this individual was really, she was nice. Like she was switched on to a degree. She was ambitious and stuff, and we could have taken her brand to like a whole new level. But then it went wrong.
Yeah. And I don't. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
And it went wrong. How long do we have left on the timer?
4 minutes.
So then we had a few issues with the business manager and the ad accounts.
So yeah, so she got one of those. So if you run any Facebook ad accounts, guys, you'll see all of those fraudulent messages that says, "Hi, your Facebook ad account's been banned. Your page is determined against the terms and conditions. Click here to get it back." She's
Now,
obviously
this is really common, Matt, Harry, isn't it? Like,
it is.
let's not brush over this one. What Harry means is in Messenger, people are stealing profiles and then changing names and headlines and trying to make it look like they're a member of the Meta team and that their page is about to has violated some fucking horrific rules, and you're going to be disabled in the next like week if you don't get it back.
Yeah.
If you don't sort it out. So some people, we've had to brief clients on it, they fall for it and they type in their information and boom, they get hacked. And
Yeah.
the BMs get lost, the accounts get disabled, and even with all the new security measures that Meta are putting in, it still fucked them over.
Yeah.
And that happened. So she got hacked. We then got alerted by it, and we were trying to sort out the mess. We were trying to figure out how we can get a new BM for them. There wasn't even any point putting it into review, really, because we know the fucking outcome. Meta won't get a handle on it. They won't sort it out for you ever.
Yeah.
So at this point now, we've built some funnels, and like big time, we built 3 funnels. We've got ads lined up. We've got email marketing that we're trying to get off the ground. But now we have no way of advertising, and they didn't want to do TikTok or YouTube or Google ads. So we're just stuck on the Meta platform. We can't advertise. Then why do you think what happened then, mate? With the last 2 minutes.
I'm still really baffled, mate. Like after that, we tried to get they just ghosted us.
Yeah.
To be
And
brutally honest,
they owed us money. So they owed us $3,000, right?
yeah.
And normally we charge cards. It's not on an automatic payment. So before anyone starts commenting about the fact that we preach that, this is all set in play, guys. This was not anything new. But
Contract signed about the direct debit that comes out. Payment was going to come out, and the card.
But because they were hacked, they obviously changed their payment. They obviously got a new card.
Yeah.
So our payments now are not going through on this card. So we had outstanding invoice. It's fucking ghosted us, which is so despicably awful, by the way. Whoever's listening to this in the podcast or watching us, that feeling, whether it's a chick you met on fucking Hinge or a guy you've met on Hinge, or it's a client being ghosted and not being communicated about where someone sits in your future is fucking horrific. I think it's one of the lowest forms of almost mental abuse if someone's going to do that to you, because all we want to do is find out what's going on. And here's the thing though, mate, if she'd come to us and said, right, I'm in a pickle with all this shit, I'm really sorry, I know I signed a contract, but can we hold it, or can you let me escape it, or whatever, me and you are nice people, and we'd have been like, do you know what,
I do that.
it's not ideal.
We don't care about the money. Like $3,000 is a lot of money, but we put our clients above everything and making sure they're happy. And if there was ever a place where working with us would be a detriment to them or put them in an uncomfortable position, we'd scrap the contract. Mate, we've scrapped so many contracts in the past year because they've come into hardships in their personal lives. Like a client with their house situation. They were getting sued over their
Yeah.
house and they couldn't, they basically had to close down the business because all of the money in the business went to there. Like we've scrapped those contracts and we're not these people that are like, you've signed a 6 month contract. I'm going to take you to court until you're fucking bankrupt. We never fucking do that. It's just, we could have made them so much fucking money. It was built, and the worst thing about all of this, mate, which is why we were annoyed about it, is that we turned away working with another business, a
Yeah.
competitor of theirs in their area, to work with them. We
Yeah.
said at the time we were talking to someone down the road to them to sign a 6 month contract with them, but because these agreed first, we worked with them and turned them away, which is why we have contracts in place. And
Yeah.
obviously, because we're in so high demand, we can. But it's like that was what was frustrating about it, and then like to be ghosted, and the
I think
reason why
that's
we're
so
happy,
poor.
yeah, and the reason why we're happy to say this, guys, is like even at our level where we've got team members, contracts, lawyers, accounting departments, it still happens to us. It happens to everyone in business. No matter if you're a $1 billion company, shit can go wrong and shit can go against the grain. And it's
Yeah.
like I've never heard anyone. And please comment a video on this video where you hear other people talking about their experiences like this, because this just shows that like this is how you run a
It's real,
business.
mate. It shows that it's real. We're real people in
Yeah,
real
it's
business. This is
it's not
not
just
fucking fake shit.
it's not like you sign a 3,000 month client, give a grand over there, and it's like everything's sunflower and rainbows. It's
No.
fucking not. Like this shit happens, and sometimes, like this, for example, there's not a lot you can really do about it.
There's not, and we could take this person, and we're in discussions about going further with things, but which we can't talk about. But in essence, it's like it's a lousy, low life way of dealing with two really. We are a really nice business to deal with. We get great results for people. We're great communicators, and their money fundamentally is way better sat with us than it is with someone else. But there must have been something behind the scenes. There's someone behind the scenes there who wasn't happy with us being involved in the project or other people not being involved in the project.
Yeah,
It,
but
it's
yeah,
caused it's caused conflict.
yeah. So what we anticipate, guys. I don't know whether we should be saying this. Feels like a fucking private
How long's
conversation,
how
mate.
long's left? How long's
We're
left?
we're over the time limit, so we'll end it now. But
All
basically, the
right.
the people that were running the ads initially were a close friend of someone, and we believe it's to that because we were basically taking that business away. But yeah, I won't go into too much detail because it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
There we
that's
go.
kind of that, mate. Hopefully people find that useful and interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully it never happens to him, but I will probably put my money on and say I bet it fucking does.
Yeah, mate. It'll probably happen to us
Well, there
again
we
at
go.
some point.
Well, listen, guys, if that's been useful, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. If it's ever happened to you, leave a comment. If you've been fucked over by clients, don't name them, please. Fucking God.
Yeah,
Don't use our channel as a way of telling everyone who this person
yeah,
was, whatever.
yeah. Not as a fucking dashboard for
our team
slating
our
people.
team will just take that shit down off our channel. But do learn from it and like and subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, we're posting every day at 9 o'clock other than Saturday. Loads more content to come. We've
Yeah,
got a really great video coming up soon, Harry, about when you get banned from advertising on Facebook and how actually you can resolve it. It's a
yeah,
fucking good video. This is happening a lot. And we get asked so many times, but there is a video about to drop about that. So there we go. That's
yeah.
me done.
Cool. Enjoy, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.